Hello and welcome to another episode of the High Council Podcast, Episode 8. Today, we have a special episode. Not necessarily because of what we're going to talk about, but because of who is going to be talking. So, obviously, today you got two of your usual hosts in me and...
And this is Captain Deadpool 97. You've heard me before. You're hearing me again. I'm here and present and ready to start this episode.
Nice. And then we also have two guests today. Usually it's, 3 or 4 of us and then one guest. But today is a special episode, so we got two guests. Two dear friends of ours. So we'll take it down the line. So we'll start off with Kamikaze. Introduce yourself.
What's up, your man Kamikaze? Glad to be here.
Yeah, I hope you are. If not, you
Alright,
get kicked out.
man.
And then
Oh no, we can't do that.
and then we got our good friend Wheezy.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Wheezy's here, as always.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So today, we're going a bit, freestyle today. But your boy Kamikaze, has brought, what was it, 2 topics?
Yeah, I got 2 topics.
All right. Nice. So, call me crazy. Shall you start off with your first topic? Let's take the one that do you think is gonna go the fastest? Take that one first, and let's see what that is. So, introduce your first topic, my friend.
Well, okay. So, first topic is gonna be the top 5 best Starship or destroyers or whatever you want to call them. What you guys think would be on that list of top 5? I know there's plenty of great ships out there, but me personally, it's gonna probably be the Slave 2.
Okay.
Like right off the bat.
You're just throwing that straight out there. So it was top
Yeah.
5 top 5 ships in Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right.
But I want to know what's that?
So okay. So your number 1, no matter what, is the Slave 2. So Boba Fett's Slave 1 essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
100%, but I'm willing to argue against that.
all right.
Let's see what else you guys have.
And
Damn.
I think, just to add on to that, I think, I'm a huge Boba Fett nerd, if anybody knows me. But Slave 1, obviously first place, followed very closely behind the Razor Crest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That shit was badass.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the First Order Star Destroyer in 3rd place.
Okay. And
What
then
are we talking? Canon or Legends, though?
we take
Ooh.
everything, right?
Because if you want to bring Legends into
We
it,
do.
I'm,
We
I'm
talk
just gonna,
everything. So
I'm just gonna throw Starkiller's ship out there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Starkiller
that's a good
ship's
one.
pretty fucking good. I would say, just to throw another name out there, we can throw out a few names and then we can go through the list of everyone's top 5. But I fucking love, I love Bosk ship, the Houndstooth. I fucking love that ship.
okay.
There's
Okay.
just something about it. It's not necessarily that I think it's like a beautiful ship necessarily, but it just has something to it that is pretty good.
I mean, we've missed the Millennium Falcon, which is a clear fucking standard.
Yeah.
I hate the Millennium Falcon.
See,
I love
I-
the
see,
Millennium
I-
Falcon.
I-
It's just
I-
such
I was-
a
I was-
great shit.
I was about to say, it's not like I don't have anything against it, but I assume that the reason that it wasn't pointed out was because someone here probably has something against it. And Deadpool there proving my point.
Yeah.
Um,
No, in my opinion, it's too big, it's too bulky. They advertise about it being so fast and all this, but I mean, in reality, like, it's really not that fast. Like, if you pair it up against Kylo Ren's fucking, I don't even remember the name of it, but Kylo Ren's, like, dark ship, the really long fucking stretched out one. You
Oh,
pair it
yeah,
up
yeah.
against that, he loses. You pair it against Vader's TIE Fighter, he loses. You pair it against Slave 1, he loses. The Razor Crest, he loses. Like, it's good against Star Destroyers and bigger class warships,
I
but
mean,
those quick fighters, it's not good at all.
I'm pretty sure the Falcon and the Slave 1 has had a few meetups with each other, so
I was gonna say, like,
he's come out of that
how long,
alive.
how long it lasted, it has to have some credit due. It is one of the longest
Yeah.
standing, at least.
Like it's existed for a long time,
And-
but also
well, when we're talking fast, sorry,
No.
Ferno, but it might not just be in terms of your acceleration, but like, in their light speed terms, how quickly you can jump.
Yeah. Also,
I think what makes the Millennium Falcon a good ship is the pilot. Like if we're
I
talking
was-
Han
yeah.
Solo, Chewbacca, Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon,
No, yeah, yeah.
100% top 5.
100%.
If we're talking
Yeah.
Anyone
Ray
else?
Chewbacca, bottom 5 of every
Yeah.
Starship ever.
Or that wait,
and
or
if we're
fucking
talking
Lando, Lando and that dumbass droid.
mid range. Yeah,
my
mid-range.
my mind was ticking more Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Han Solo I can get down with.
Yeah.
Han Solo, Chewbacca, original, like crew. Original
Yeah.
in movie
Well,
sense,
they
like how
weren't.
they came out. Original crew, I would say, because to me they're the OGs of the Millennium Falcon. That
Yeah.
is definitely like at least top 10.
We all
for
started
Starships.
watching Star Wars knowing that the Millennium Falcon was Han Solo's ship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also another thing is we had no clue what parsecs meant. But we knew that the fact that they pointed out how fast they did it. Okay, it must be a fucking big thing.
Right. It was 13 parsecs. It was 12.
Yeah. It was 12.
I've got my topic.
Yeah.
I've just found my topic from that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think
I actually do have
another
a topic.
ship. Another ship to add on to that, I think, would probably be like the what is it? The Republic Starship that the clones had, like their big one. What was it called? The Republic
Venator?
Assault Ship.
The Venator?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. The
Because
Venator
they
is
had
awesome.
such a great layout
Yeah.
for them.
But also,
Because
then we can also throw out the Malevolence.
So
Yeah.
if we're talking, you said ships. So we've all been naming starships. Are we including like ground ships? Are we including those?
I wouldn't see why not. Yeah, let's definitely
All
include
right,
those.
So that being said, I think it has one appearance in any movie that I've ever seen. It might be in the new 3. I've only watched those once because I can't stand them. But
I think you know.
in The Mandalorian, the Imperial transport fucking tank thing.
Yeah.
That thing is a beast. And it's quick.
They have a similar thing in Rebels, actually. So.
Yeah, I remember that in Rebels.
Yeah, no, but that's definitely a good shout.
Too, yeah.
But also, now we've put out marginally, except for that one, we put out marginally big ships. But some other ships that I also want to just throw out there. You got the Mandalorian starships. I think are really cool. And also Jedi starfighters and the Jedi the other Jedi. You got the starfighters and you got the fucking whatchamacallem. Yeah, the two types of Jedi ships we see. I don't remember what the second one is. You got the starfighters and you got the other ones. Yeah.
I think bringing on to that point, Anakin Starfighter is top notch.
Oh yeah.
Well,
but
I think it also
forgot
really
the pilot
depends on the
there.
pilot.
Pilot and R2 and the droid.
That really makes or breaks the ship too.
And the droid. Fucking Obi-Wan was stuck with fucking R4, the useless bin.
Yeah.
This is fucking shit. Just got his head cut off.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You put Obi-Wan behind that ship. What?
Can we talk about how the IG unit that flew the Razor Crest did a way better job than Mando did? Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
IG
I have to admit
it wasn't even
that.
an IG unit. It was whatever that thing was. He was whipping that shit.
the Jedi Interceptor. Yeah, you got the Starship and the Interceptor. That was what I was thinking about. The Interceptors are fucking badass. The ones that you see in Episode 3 and the end of the Clone Wars. They are fucking sick.
Yes.
And I feel like they also have, maybe not as iconic, but it's kind of like the TIE Fighters, where kind of like, what sound you're hearing when you first hear it. It's like,
That's like hearing Boba's ship.
Yeah, it's like you know what ship you're
That
hearing. You
seismic
know.
charge, as soon as it gets quiet,
Oh yeah,
everyone
yeah.
knows.
Everyone knows. Like everyone watching the Mandalorian, when it all of a sudden you just see that, and you just hear everything just goes quiet. You know, okay, it's about to go down. It's like you
Especially
know.
when he drops a
100%.
charge.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
I lost my shit in the Mandalorian when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Fully
same.
went ape. I was
Yeah.
made it.
Oh, that was awesome.
Like, I mean, I can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett. That's gonna be great.
Oh, that's gonna be
Be
sick.
awesome.
The
Oh,
trailer was
Yeah.
awesome.
oh. By the way, there is also a trailer for Kenobi.
Yeah,
On,
I
on, on
haven't
Disney
watched the
Plus.
trailer yet,
I
but
haven't watched it yet, but
I
I
heard.
can't fucking wait to watch the trailer. But anyways, okay, so
Same.
we gotta stick to the topic because we
Yeah,
have a
let's
tendency
reel
to
it
go
in.
off topic. So, let's just try and do a quick list of everyone's top 5, and then we can go off of that after. So, Kamikaze, since it's your topic, what is your, if you're going top 5, what is just the names of them? What is your top 5 ships?
Well, I named 3.
Yeah,
So the first one's obviously the Slave 2.
Yeah.
And then my second would have probably been the one that we talked about with Anakin's ship in the 3rd movie.
yeah,
I forgot what that one's called. But
the Jedi Interceptor.
definitely made him be the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the pilot, of course.
Yeah.
And then we also I mentioned the Republic Starship that they use, the assault ship.
Yeah.
Just because it had such great layout.
Yeah,
You know. And then 4th would probably have been, I was thinking more of the Falcon, just because Han and Chewie combo. They
Yeah.
knew how to get that down and fly it like no other.
Yeah.
You know. In the 5th, I wasn't too sure about what probably be my top. Like last, I was 100% sure, but it would probably be the Razor Crest, definitely. Just because the way it is,
number 5.
just the way it's built.
Yeah, okay. I would say that all of those are pretty solid shouts. All right, Wheezy. We're definitely gonna have arguments about all this after this, but Wheezy, throw out your top 5.
I'm gonna have to agree with Ray. The top one. I'm gonna have to give it to Slave 1, Slave 2. It's the same ship to me.
Yeah.
Just because it was amazing. It was such a powerful ship in every capacity.
Yeah.
Second, I'll probably have to go to Starkiller's ship. I absolutely loved that.
Yeah, sorry,
Just the design of it.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice. Third place, give it to the Falcon, but with Han, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the top 5 for me personally, just because I love them. They're not necessarily any good. I think they're quite shit, to be honest. But I love the Imperial Star Destroyers.
Yeah. I mean,
so that would be my 4th.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about what you like. It doesn't matter if it's a good ship or whatever. It's your opinion.
They have got power.
Yeah.
But I just think they look wicked and iconic as fuck.
Yeah.
And don't know if I'm bending the rules here, actually, but 5. Could I say the Death Star?
It's
Ooh.
that's
actually technically a space station, so I don't think that would count. That's a space station.
Yeah,
it is a space station, but it does float around in space, and kind of flies.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, okay, well,
it's just probably the slowest. And
all right, we
know how easy it is to destroy it. If
I'm not bending the rules, then I would probably have to say, the Malevolence.
Yeah, Malevolence. That's a really good shout. Yeah. All right, DP. What's your shit?
So my top 5, as I said, number 1, Slave 1, not the Slave 2. I mean, it is the same ship, different paint job, but Slave 1 because Boba Fett. Number 2, followed closely behind, is the Razor Crest.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, it kind of gets iffy in the 3, 4, 5 range. Number 3, I'd say if I had to choose,
Which you do.
I'd say Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
All right,
And
yeah,
after
fair
Darth
shout.
Vader's TIE Fighter, no, we're kind of none of us have mentioned this yet, but Luke's X-wing for number
Okay,
4,
yeah.
and
Yep.
number 5, I would have to say the Inquisitor ships.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. Oh,
Yeah.
I actually thought of one ship that no one else has said that I'm actually gonna throw in here as well. But okay, so number 1 for me, I don't know. I really like the Houndstooth by Bosk. Like in the comics, it's a fucking a remarkable ship as well. So it's just a great ship, which I mean most people don't know too much about, but I fucking love Bosk, so I know a bit about it. And then number 2, I think I'm gonna throw the Jedi Interceptors in there because they're just fucking amazing. And when in the opening of episode 3, when you just see Anakin and Obi-Wan flying around in those two, you just go, fuck, this is awesome. So they're just amazing ships, and again, iconic sounds. Then at number 3, I'm gonna throw out something that no one here has said. Darth Maul's ship.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
That did pop up in my mind.
I really do like his ship. I like how it looks. Well, obviously Darth Maul's a pretty fucking swell and awesome guy. So I mean that's obviously a bonus.
I think we didn't see enough of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Which I do wonder, like, what the fuck did they do to it after episode 1? Did it just get recycled? Did it get sold? Who sold it? Who owned it? Questions like what the fuck happened to it?
Get whacked.
And back to Jakku.
Yeah. Why does everyone want to go back to Jakku? Fucking hell. Oh no. I know. So for number 4, I think I'm gonna go for the Mandalorian starships because they're they're fucking epic. And you know they fly really cool, and they look really cool.
They're not wicked.
They're just really cool. And then for number 5, god damn, what can I throw in as number 5? I'm trying to see, because there are a lot of fucking cool ships in Star Wars, obviously.
Oh,
you know what? I think I'm gonna go for the Ghost.
Ooh.
Gonna go for the Ghost from
Okay.
Rebels.
Yeah.
The Ghost is a pretty good ship, and like also like I assume that if you got the Ghost, you're getting the Phantom with it. So
Mhm.
the Ghost is just awesome. And then it's an awesome ship. The characters in it are awesome. And also like it's kind of like the Falcon, just not the Falcon. Like it's got turrets top and bottom. It's got on the sides. It's got fucking whatchamacallit, escape pods. It's got engines at the back. Now, in difference, it does have the Phantom, which the fucking Falcon doesn't have anything small like that. And then it has a cockpit where you got like four seats and no more, no less. And yeah, I think that the Ghost is a pretty good ship. All right, now how do we debate this? Now,
Can I just throw out an honorable mention?
yeah, of course.
With the crew obviously piloting it, Bad Batch's ship.
Ooh, Bad Batch. Yeah, that's
whose
a
ship?
good shot. Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because when you saw, remember the episode where Hunter got stranded?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before they left, you
Yeah.
have to admit that flying was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tech was whipping that shit.
yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Like it's a really cool ship. I think, like, one of the things.
And obviously with Tech piloting.
Oh yeah. But another thing that I think makes that so cool is because I would say that most people, the first thing they think of is the Imperial shuttle, just a bit different. You know what I mean? Like it has.
But it's not, because they've all made their mods to it.
Yeah. So exactly. So that's the thing. It's like
that's
a
insane.
unique Imperial shuttle, but obviously for the Bad Batch. But that's also another thing I like about it is that it really shows who the Bad Batch are through it. Also, you see something that's iconic. Like if you watch Star Wars back when Episode 5 and 6 and stuff like that came out, you recognize the shape of the ship, but it's a completely different ship. And then, but the reason that it's different is because it's the Bad Batch, and they are completely different.
Yeah.
So it's like it's something you recognize, but
And
these
also
characters are also that, but different.
I've come from a bit of a background where I've been heavily involved in cars and motorbikes a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, and, this is just me being philosophical for the sake of it and arguing it into a fucking fictional world. But there is the belief that people can create relations between their vehicles, between their cars, between their motorbikes.
Yeah.
Between their planes, they can connect on it on a deeper level. So
Yeah.
you could argue in the case of like the Bad Batch, Luke Skywalker's X-wing, Anakin's fighter, it's all to do with them and their connection with their ship.
It's kind of like if let's say that you have a car, let's say your first car. You've been sparing up your money, like you've been working your ass off. All of a sudden, you buy your first car for however much you buy it for. I don't know, like $20,000. Let's say you buy it for $20,000. Let's say
$20,000.
I don't know. Like you've been
For your
sparing
first car, you'd be spending like 800 quid at most.
Yeah, okay, fucking 800 quid then. But then you get a fucking broken down bullshit car.
Well, I was going to say, tell me you got 20 grand at fucking 17.
No, I don't, but that's what I said. You've been grinding, you've been sparing your fucking cash for years. Okay, well, fuck it. Okay, let's say $1 grand. $1 grand, okay? Say $1 grand. You buy a car for $1 grand.
I would say like 5.
So your first car.
Grand.
Actually, you know what? Actually, this is actually going to prove my point even more. Okay, so let's say you buy a car for $1 grand, a few hundred quid, a few hundred by this, almost 1,000, and then you buy this car, and let's say it's not a perfect car. It's a bit of, you have to work a bit on it to get it running perfectly, right? But you put in the work to it. You've invested money into it. This is your first car, and you drive this for however many years until you get an upgrade. Probably like, let's say 5 to 10 years down the line. Like you won't get it straight away, obviously. You'll definitely grow a relationship to this car. You know exactly how to drive it. You know exactly how this car works. You have invested time, money into it. You're the one that has actually made it drivable again. So I would definitely say you definitely build a relationship with it just by the process of using it in that sense. So I definitely agree with that. So I would say, like, for example, let's say Anakin. It's clear that he loves fiddling with technology. He's probably the one that fixes his ship. He doesn't go, "Hey, yo, mechanic, can you fix this for me?" He probably does that shit himself. So anything he's probably done himself. So he probably has a relationship in that sense to this ship that he's had for however long.
And exactly,
so
if you understand how a car works, you should know how to drive.
Yeah,
that's the argument.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand how the whole fucking thing works, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get in and drive it.
Yeah, exactly.
And from a bit of experience, I got a new August 2020. I got a new motorbike.
Yeah.
Within 3 weeks, I'd crashed it.
Damn.
I ended up going 40 miles an hour into the back of my mate's car in front of me, who was stationary because he hit his brakes.
Oh.
Someone ran in front of the road, so yeah, I just didn't have enough time. Anyway, fun fact about the crash: I dented my fuel tank. Now, for just to spare people, just imagine what sits just behind the fuel tank when you're riding a motorbike. As a male.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know exactly what's behind the fuel tank as a male sitting on a motorbike.
They went purple for 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
New balls, a whole new level.
But the point of what I'm saying is, so I got the bike and crashed it within 3 weeks because I was prattling around and it was a new bike. Since then, I haven't fallen off once.
Yeah.
And I know that bike. I know its limits like the back of my hand. I know exactly how hard to take. take it around any corner, how hard to push it in the right weather. And yeah, over time you develop that connection with the vehicle.
Yeah, like it's also like
Mhm.
it might be weird. It might be a weird example at first, but hear me out, okay? It's like your own body. You like, let's say as a baby, like you're not gonna learn to walk straight away, are you? You're gonna do whatever first, and then when you first learn to walk, that's because you know how your legs work, which you've learned over trying to use them. Same with a bike or a car. You've tried to use it, and now you know how they work. But that's also how the body keeps developing. You realize your limits with anything, with alcohol, with pain, with absolutely anything in life. You develop, you know, okay, this is how much I can take. I'm not going to do anything more than that. If you know on a night out, let's say that you know for a fact, okay, 4 beers, that's just enough for me. If you're going on a night out and you just want to hang out with the boys or whatever, and you just want to have a good night and you don't want to get drunk or anything, you know, maximum 4 beers, that's it. You learn your limits with anything in life, and and that's also why you develop a relationship with a car, a motorbike, whatever, is because it's like your own body.
Yeah, exactly.
You develop the exact
Oh
same
yeah, my
relationship.
motorbike is like a third limb.
Yeah, because you know exactly how this stuff works. You learn with it, just like your body. And like
You get on it and it feels natural.
Yeah, like I know for a fact, like because I ride motorcycles myself, you know, like you know how to lean. You learn all this stuff, but you might not know it straight away. But you know exactly how. All of a sudden, you just do it naturally.
It just clicks. It just
Yeah,
clicks.
it just clicks. All of a sudden, everything just comes naturally. You know exactly how much to turn the steering wheel in a car. You know exactly how you're gonna have your body in a turn on a motorbike. You know all this because you learn the limits of it whilst using it. And yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just to somehow loop this massive tangent all back to the original topic on Starship.
I was about to say.
It's hard to argue the best Starship without including the pilot.
Yeah.
Because you slap any old fucking rebellion pilot in Luke's X-Wing, and that X-Wing will become dust. So, yeah.
It's like this is also, I'm not saying that everyone had an issue with it because of this, but this is why certain people had a bit of an issue with Rey being a great pilot right off the get-go with the fucking Millennium Falcon. What has she done?
Yeah, that was that was major bullshit. She started off being this
never fought before,
badass Jedi, never fought before, but stood to a trained Sith, trained Jedi, the Ren of the Knights of Ren, and beat him, and then went and hopped into the Millennium Falcon and was flying that shit like Han Solo's daughter. Like it made no fucking sense.
She was just a Mary Sue the whole way through.
Yeah.
Like how I just shook my head every time she was on screen because it was just disappointing.
Like in the Force Awakens. Now I like the Force Awakens.
They've done it so well.
Yeah.
I think my favorite film personally is Last Jedi out of those three.
Really?
And which one was that? Was that number 6 or 7?
No,
8.
Number 8.
That's 8. So that's the one that is arguably the least popular out of the three. So I'll ask you, Weezy. So that's very interesting, actually. I didn't expect that. So why is that one your favorite?
So Rise of the Skywalker is my least favorite, and Last Jedi is my favorite. Force Awakens is just a fucking copy paste of New Hope with better visuals and some fucking edgier, shittier characters. Nothing. It's okay. I mean, I'd watch it if it's on, but I'm not gonna go out of my way.
I get your point. We're definitely gonna have an argument about this after this, by the way, after you've done your point.
But I don't know, The Last Jedi, I don't know, I just enjoyed it as a film more. I mean, I still was pissed off every time Rey was on screen. And, went into fits of violent rage. But, I don't know, I just preferred it as a film, and I think it's got one of the coolest scenes in cinema history.
Which one's that?
When they fly the ship through the other ship at light speed.
Oh,
that
really?
Yeah.
was
See,
some of the
Yeah.
coolest
now,
shit
see,
ever.
for me, I have one thing I like about it and one issue with it. I like it because I think it looks cool. I have an issue with it because it's Star Wars, and that entire thing basically neglects everything that happens before it. Because it's like, oh well, we could have just taken a fucking Venator class and rammed it into the fucking Malevolence, and Graves is dead. So
Exactly.
the reason why I
didn't
have an
like
issue
that
with it,
scene.
it's a kind of, it kind of retcons the entire
Oh,
concept of
no,
hyperspeed.
no. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Last Jedi completely retcons everything to do with we know about starships because somehow starships now have fucking fuel. Don't get me wrong. Last Jedi does have its
Yeah.
flaws.
And,
Like
and,
it's
and
it's the
also,
best out of a bad bunch. Like
and
I'm not
also,
saying The Last Jedi is a good film. It's still shit,
Yeah.
but it's my favorite out
Yeah.
of the three.
Because, for example, like, essentially what they do with that is they just go, okay, so hyperspeed, you're no longer traveling through a different dimension. No, it's just moving really, really fast. Like that, and I just go, well, what the fuck is this? Like,
Oh, no, hang on. I thought that's how it always was because they always had to get clear for hyperspace. Otherwise, they would
yeah,
fucking crash through things.
but they have to get clear. But the thing is, you're splitting into technically another dimension, quote unquote, in a sense. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't remember
like
the
you're
complete bits and bobs.
you're breaking through like the dimensional walls
Yeah.
essentially. So you're like going into an alternate reality and then popping back in. It's like going through a black hole essentially.
Yeah.
So that's why they got cleared because it's also like super dangerous to go hyperspeed because you don't know where you're going to end up on the other end. So you could wipe out an entire ship and crew in like 1 fucking second.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
like,
maybe they did that intentionally then. Maybe they knew how to do that properly.
but see, the one reason that could have like made it good for me is if they went like, okay, but what she did was she went into hyperspace and then she went out inside the ship. I could have been like, okay, that is an explanation. It's not a great one, but it's at least better than you just go really, really fast. And then, but then also you could have gone, well, one thing that we've learned about hyperspeed and hyperspace is that you're never 100% accurate with it. So
No.
she's definitely, I don't know, what is it, Holder or whatever the fuck. She was never a fucking pilot. So how the fuck could she calculate specifically that? She couldn't. Okay, so then that explanation is out the window. So then all we have is a shitty explanation of hyperspace or hyperspeed. It's just going really, really fast, which essentially means that hyperspace isn't a thing anymore because hyperspace is what you go into when you go into hyperspeed. That's why that's the thing, is because hyperspeed isn't just going really, really fast. You're essentially going at a certain momentum and speed that moves you into hyperspace and out again. So
But it looks cool.
it does look fucking cool. Like the scene looks
Yeah.
cool.
Like
But
I said, it's like the best out of the bad bunch. But
Yeah.
and Rise of the Skywalker still.
See-
It was such a shit film.
See, but for me, like, you said that fucking whatchamacallit, The Force Awakens. You said that's pretty much just a good fucking shittier version of a New Hope. But the thing for me, which yes it is, but the thing is, I think that that's actually a good thing because it okay, so it draws in new fans because it's something completely new, but also it draws in the old fans because it's like you give that old feeling, like you recognize this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then also
That's why it was in my second. Cause
and I love
It's still
all the
enjoyable.
things that they set up. Like Rey, okay, she seemed like she was definitely powerful, and also Kylo Ren kept, and everyone was putting emphasis on the girl. Okay, who is the girl? So I was like, okay, is she a Skywalker? If she was so fucking naturally talented and she was a Skywalker, I would have been fucking fine with it because she's a Skywalker. But then when
Palpatine.
yeah, or a Palpatine, which is also okay. You know what? Fair enough. That's why she's so powerful. Fair enough. But then also you got that bullshit of Rian Johnson going, no, you're nothing. Which then retcons this like J.J. Abrams set up so many interesting things in The Force Awakens. Like, we've never seen a stormtrooper take off his helmet. Unless it's some sort of like Disney
True.
thing, like fucking Phineas and Ferb or whatever. You never see the stormtroopers take off their helmets. First time we do that, and it's one that is essentially gone, I don't want to kill. On like his first mission or whatever, he goes, I don't want to kill. So we see, for one, we see him flipping against what is technically what has been bred to become. He takes off his helmet.
Yeah.
He saves a rebel, and you go, okay, what the fuck? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I'm intrigued now. You've got me grabbed in, JJ. And then at the end, you see the way that he, when he hears the screams of the planets, when he actually stands a bit of a chance, kind of quote unquote, against Kylo Ren, you go, okay, so there's something else going on here as well. Maybe he's force sensitive. But then Ryan Johnson, I fucking hate him for this, and I feel so bad for John Boyega. He makes him the haha funny black guy, which might sound dumb to say, but it's true. He makes him the haha funny black guy because he falls off. He's got all this fucking water coming out of his fucking suit. Poe comes over and we're like, what the fuck? Like, he fucks up the entire character. J.J. Abrams made a fucking brilliant character that could have a fucking amazing story, but fucking Ryan Johnson goes, haha, no. Snoke, interesting character. You never knew anything. You were like, okay, he seems powerful. Who can he be? How many fucking different theories were about Snoke? But then Ryan Johnson goes, yeah, just no. Let's just kill him. Which I liked the way that Kylo killed him. It was smart. It was very big brain. But that was like one of the only fucking redeeming qualities of the film. Like, twisting the saber at the same time, igniting. Like, cool. I actually like that one idea. But still, just killing me off like that, like, people have an issue with Palpatine coming back in the last film, but here's my thought on it. Okay, so JJ had three options that he could take. One, introduce a completely new villain. Okay, that's a dumb idea because then you have to introduce a complete new villain that we've never seen before in a movie and saying that he has controlled everything. That's a horrible idea. But that's one of the three. The second one, make Kylo the big bad. Commit to it. Make Kylo the big fucking bad. He is a full-on villain, no redemption. He's just a villain.
Yep, that was the right idea.
But the issue with that is the way that they have built him up. Even Ryan Johnson didn't really implement that.
They fucked him from the start.
Yeah. But but then also, like, the thing is, if you make him the full-on big bad, okay, well, how are you going to treat the character? So it doesn't really work. And they've built up so that he's going to get a redemption. So it wouldn't have worked. And the third option, bring back Palpatine. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. He is the big bad in all three trilogies. Fucking fair dues. That was in my opinion the best option because there are massive flaws in the Kylo thing. There are definitely massive flaws in the introducing a completely new character. Palpatine, we know who he is. He's a massive big bad. So fair enough.
My problem isn't Palpatine coming back. It's how he brought him back.
And it was a smart idea, I think, personally, how they brought him back because we know the clones were cloned. So they did the same thing as they did with Palpatine in a way. So we just took that technology and used it.
Yeah, it brings an intention to, because obviously it's clear that Palpatine was the reason why the Clone Wars started. Right. So it brings an extra intention to why did he insist on having clones. It brings another reason, because he knows that his master, Darth Plagueis, he could save others from death, but not himself. Palpatine knew this, so what does he do? He's a fucking genius. Cloning himself. And so it brings an intention to the prequels. It brings a sort of viciousness almost to the way that he is in the originals. And also it makes the sequels, it gives the sequels a fucking okay fucking ending for the 9th film after fucking Ryan Johnson fucked everything up. So
can I just say something? Yeah. I never actually finished the 9th film.
You did? Oh, you didn't even finish it?
No. So I turned it off at a very specific point, and I always remember the point because I saw something about it, and it really bugs me that a multi-million-dollar scriptwriter wrote the words, "Somehow he returned." When I heard those words was when I switched the film off, because that sent me over the edge. I was like, what do you mean somehow he off? No, I'm not watching this shite.
Somehow he returned, yeah.
So
Yeah, that
sorry,
shit was
hot
stupid.
take. Fucking the way it should have been done is John Boyega shouldn't have been this token diversity character.
Yeah.
He should have been the main character. He should have been the Jedi.
Yeah.
He should have been force sensitive, 100%. Kylo, I know you said that they couldn't really make him into the big bad from where they were at, but if they'd have started from The Force Awakens to make him this big bad fucking top dog,
but I
it
think
would
that
have
could have
worked
been
so much better.
But I think that would probably have been part of JJ's. But the issue that we have is that, okay, let's say that Rian Johnson doesn't fuck up the entire character of Snoke, and fucking JJ Abrams actually has creative control over the 8th film. Snoke, maybe we don't get to know who he is, but we'll definitely figure that out in the 9th film if we don't do it in the 8th film. But we'll at least figure out more about him, how he's force sensitive, how powerful he really is, and all that stuff. We'll figure that out. Okay, Kylo Ren, what do we do with him? Do we actually make him the big bad? Do we make him a big bad guy that kills Snoke and then dies? Okay, that still works. Or do we build him up to have a redemption? Fair enough, whatever you do. But I don't think the mistake is in The Force Awakens.
One thing that we
Yo, Kami, you're cutting out a bit.
You're breaking up real bad, my guy.
I am sorry.
All right, now it seems good now, I think.
Is that
Nope.
Oh,
I'm not going back to it like
this
a
is
chance.
bad.
Alright, wait, okay, so I'll just fucking technical difficulties. I'll just cut this out in the edit. Just 1 second. I'll just mute stream and mute my mic as well, and then we'll see how it goes.
I do want to mention is that when Palpatine said, "Is like I was every voice in your head," he was the one behind it all with Snoke.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that at all? Or no?
Yeah.
So he's the one that pretty much created Snoke in a way. I wonder if he had anything to do with like clone something up like that for Snoke or what?
I argue Snoke's probably just a defective clone. Look at the form it
Yeah.
is.
But also
Yeah.
because what I thought was, okay, so either they commit to it, so they're both big bads in the 9th film, or Kylo Ren has a redemption. But the thing is, the issue isn't in The Force Awakens, because The Force Awakens leaves it very open. Like, it's clear that he's definitely going to be built up to become even stronger and more turned to the dark side. But you never know if he's going to get a redemption or not. Whilst in the 8th film, his character just isn't either. And then I think JJ does a good job in the 9th film in bringing back his power, showing that he's actually a very competent fighter. Because fucking Rian Johnson showed that he was just a whiny bitch, really. But then also, like, I'm not even sure if Palpatine would have been a character at all if Rian Johnson hadn't fucked up Snoke. I actually think that J.J. Abrams, because I remember Kathleen Kennedy said, like, she was interviewed and she was like, oh yeah, Palpatine was always in the works. And then J.J. Abrams in a different interview was like, I wouldn't have gone with Palpatine if my story would have been written. And it's like, okay, so Kathleen Kennedy's, well, for one, she's lying. And two, clearly Snoke was going to have a bigger role than what he had. He was clearly going to become a more interesting, stronger, and unique character in a sense. It was clear that this character was going somewhere. All the mystery in The Force Awakens. Like, people were wondering, who the fuck is this guy? People were questioning if it was Mace fucking Windu. And it's like...
That was an interesting theory,
that was
to be
very
fair,
interesting.
which I did like, because Mace was tapped in with the dark side.
Yeah.
as
So-
we all know.
That's true. Yeah.
Would have been, and even you know what? If J.J. Abrams would have revealed in Episode 9, if he had gotten his view on the 8th film, and he goes Episode 9, I used to be Mace Windu or whatever the fuck. He does some sort of reveal that he's Mace Windu. I would have been like fair fucking dues, fair fucking dues, because that would have been an amazing twist that you probably wouldn't have expected. People made theories about it,
Yeah,
but that's just because people have theories to make.
could you imagine if it was just Samuel L.
Right.
Jackson with a voice changer?
Oh, that would be amazing. You know, mixing Star Wars and Scream, my guy.
But I mean, since we're clearly on the topic of the sequels at the moment, the one thing I do want to ask is, you remember what was his fucking name? Space Hitler. The fucking ginger
Hux,
Space Hitler.
Hux, yeah.
That's the one. Hux.
Yeah, General Hux.
So he was the spy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was the spy for the Resistance, why the fuck did he order the fucking Starkiller base to shoot with big fucking lasers and destroy everything?
Because he
why-
was he wasn't
why
a
didn't
spy.
they-
He wasn't a spy before the 8th film.
Wasn't he? Did I miss something?
No,
Did-
yeah,
was
because
I supposed to be a spy?
he
Or did he?
was- He became a spy because he got sick of Kylo Ren. So he was like, "Fuck Kylo Ren, I want to get on top
Oh,
again."
he defected. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
oh.
essentially was trying to overthrow Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
so he was trying to do shit to make him look bad.
Yeah. Which, by the way, like
Oh.
I
That's just my smoker's head. Sorry, guys. Full Star Wars knowledge.
no worry. But okay, so like I didn't really have an issue with him, and I'm gonna get back to that after this. But I didn't really have an issue with him, going away from the First Order. But I did have an issue with the way that they just killed him. It's like
I
not.
did. I
it's-
thought that
it-
was
it-
really fitting.
I mean,
It was
yeah,
kind of funny.
it was
It
kind of
was
funny,
funny.
but I
He was a bitch.
I didn't
He was
really
a
want.
bitch.
He was, and like I think that there was definitely issues with the character in that sense. But I was like,
Yeah.
well, what the fuck? He's convincing this motherfucker, and he just turns around and shoots him. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like,
Well, it's because he clearly wasn't convinced.
no. But like, I mean, do it in some different way. Like, I think it would have been a lot more interesting if there was some way of like he acted
Force
like
choke him.
no, but like if he like acted like he believed him or something, and just because if he would have been smart, he would have acted like he believed him, let him lead them to fucking the Resistance or whatever the fuck, and kill him.
Yeah, but you think
Not
because
shoot him on the spot.
obviously. Well, I mean, you're the First Order. You're very, very powerful. I doubt they really gave much of a fuck. I think it was kind of just like, yeah, he's a spy. Get rid of him. Bang. I can assume
but he was obviously when it comes to
that would be
specifically
a
the First Order.
rebellion move, because you also remember bad guys aren't allowed to be that smart in films because
Yeah, I know.
plotting,
Yeah,
plot.
obviously. But like, and also like, for example, like, Hux technically was in a high rank within the First Order. He was.
Well-
you see in the Force Awakens, the two people that Snoke spoke to was essentially his quote unquote Padawan in Kylo Ren, or like who he was teaching, his apprentice.
his bitch.
Yeah, and Hux.
Mm.
Those were the two people he was speaking to. No one else, no other character higher up than Hux. It was those two he was speaking to, and that says a bit about the stature that Hux would have had. He was the one holding the fucking speech at Starkiller Base. No other old fuck. He was the one holding the speech. He was the one standing there in front of the entire First Order, holding this massive fucking speech before they fucking blew up how many fucking planets.
Yeah.
So it's clear that he had a fucking big ass role within the First Order. And then the way that he goes out like a punk. I think that obviously, again, going back to like J.J. Abrams' original view, would probably not have been a whiny fucking Kylo overgoing some fucking bitch ass Hux.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have gone as it went in 8.
Yeah,
And they were
no.
probably two completely different roles. Hux would probably, if Hux wouldn't have gone out like a punk like that, like some petty motherfucker snitching on Kylo because, oh, he took my place. He wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then going out by being fucking shot after he shot himself in the leg to convince a motherfucker.
We were due and we deserve better films. I mean, there was such better stories that
Yeah.
could have been and were going to have been,
The
and it just
characters,
bugs me
the
how
ca-
much they fucked it.
yeah, the characters the Force Awakens set up would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, Force Awakens was a perfect setup film. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
It was a perfect setup for what sadly ended up being a tragic trilogy.
The reason Force Awakens is such a shit film and joins all three of them in being shit films is because the other two let it down. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah.
pointless
If
without two good follow-up films.
Yeah. If JJ got if they didn't kick off JJ for 8, he got 8 and he gets 9. I think that this could have been, and obviously this is just speculate. We're never going to get this, so I'm just going to speculate. And I'm going to throw out a massive fucking shout out there. I think that if he actually got the right view, considering what characters were set up in The Force Awakens, it could probably have been regarded as better than the originals. But no, I'm not saying that it would have, but I'm saying there could have been a chance. If he had got the right view, considering the characters that he set up, Kylo Ren, interesting
Definitely
new
could have done
character.
better than the prequels.
Yeah, definitely would have done better than the prequels.
I don't think you could ever beat the original. I mean, The Empire Strikes Back
I
is
don't
a
think
perfect
so.
film from start to finish.
I don't
That's
think
my
I,
hot
I don't
take.
th- I don't think so. But I'm putting out the theory that it could have no, well, not probably, it could have been a thing. It would have been a possibility, I would say, that if shit would have gone the right way. Now, I'm not saying that J.J. Abrams is the greatest fucking movie smith of all time. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we'll never see this. So like this is this is meaningless. But I'm still gonna point. I think, considering the characters that he did set up, if everything goes perfect, then it's a greater trilogy. But I think everything has to go close enough to perfect for that to happen. Like if everything just went good, no, not even close. But if everything went close to perfect, I think it could have been a better trilogy. But obviously, obviously we'll never fucking see this, will we? Because fucking Kathleen Kennedy and Disney are fucking morons.
I mean,
but
personally, I don't think there's anything that could ever top the original trilogy. That shit was just. It's
amazing. It's amazing.
Especially so. My favourite Star Wars film out of them all is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
However, it's not the best one in my opinion. The best one is Empire Strikes Back in terms of writing and script and screen work and all of that shit.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back is the best film made. But personally, Empire Strikes Back just does it for. Return of the Jedi just does it for me. It's my favorite.
I mean, I can definitely understand that. No, my favorite film out of all of them, and this might be controversial, but I think it's probably in most people's top 3. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite one.
I would put that as my third favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely in most people's top 3. So it's definitely my favorite. But and just to quickly, because we're definitely on the entire topic of Disney, and their movies, but we're giving them a lot of shit for the trilogy they made. But when it comes to Solo and Rogue One, especially Rogue One, they did a phenomenal job. I fucking love Rogue One. Rogue One definitely puts the war in Star Wars. It's a full-on war movie. Solo, I can sit down and watch Solo. It's not a movie that I go, oh yeah, fucking on Solo is on. But I go, you know what? I enjoy the movie. I like the movie. I can watch it multiple times because I enjoy the film. There are some things that they kind of retcon from the comics and shit that I kind of went, fuck no. But there are some things that I enjoyed. I don't remember his name, but I can't see the guy who plays Han. I can't see him as Han Solo. There's just something about it that just makes me think that's not really Han Solo. But then, for example, how how the hell he got his name Solo was stupid. Oh, you're all alone? Ah, fuck it. What's your last name? I don't have one. Ah, well, fuck it. We'll give you Solo. That works well. And like, how did he get his blaster? Oh,
Yeah.
this random guy that like this random guy just met, kind of just gave it to him. Those dice that have been there, throughout all the movies that that Luke gave to Leia before he goes out and dies. Yeah, those were given to Han by like his first real girlfriend. Yeah, Leia, chew on that one. it's like
I mean,
there's
I
it's
see
a
what
lot
you're
of
saying
flaws,
about
but
how
I
you
enjoy the
can't
movie.
see him as Han. I see what you mean about that.
Yeah.
However, I do want to point out Daniel Glover as Lando Calrissian was a brilliant casting, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. Like, the thing is, I think that one thing that they both have, like, they had, like, the body movement, the way that they moved. I could definitely believe both. The attitude, I could definitely believe in Glover, but that's kind of what throws me a bit off with Han, is he's charismatic. The thing about Han, because in the original trilogy, they all have amazing character development, which is one thing that fucking Rian Johnson fucked up. But they have amazing character development, and then Han Solo goes from being an egotistical smuggler to being charismatic. But all of a sudden, okay, he's charismatic from the get go. Okay, where the fuck does that come from? Now, okay, like you can say like, oh yeah, but like it's after this betrayal that he becomes like a bit of an arrogant, egotistical motherfucker that just doesn't give a fuck. Is because he becomes it's a change in him. But I would love to just see him. I would love if he wasn't charismatic from the get go. If he had a future, if he showed signs of charisma, great. But I don't need that throughout the entire movie, because then it doesn't feel like Han Solo. With Lando, definitely worked. Now, I did not like the droid. I did not like his relationship with the droid, but that's a completely other argument to have. But I did like Lando. Then himself.
Yeah, Lando was really good. I love Daniel Glover personally.
Yeah, same.
In all respects, but yeah, he was a really good casting.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chewbacca was an amazing casting.
Yeah. And the facial expressions, he really channeled
Woody
his...
Harrelson. Woody Harrelson. He was great.
Oh yeah, he was.
I love Woody Harrelson.
It's rarely that I don't enjoy a film with Woody Harrelson in it.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, even if I don't like the film, I'll like his character.
I'll just love his character. Like, I know, now this is going a bit off topic, but Zombieland?
Yes.
Now I love those movies, both of them. But I know people that hate both movies, but they're like, fucking Woody Harrelson, fucking amazing. Because he is.
Yeah, he's great.
Woody
He's
Harrelson
great.
is amazing. And I think he really brought a lot of good shit to that character. I think he made the character a good character, believable. He fit into the story, I would say. I enjoyed the type of character that he played in the movie. But yeah, so like again, like Solo, it has its flaws. It has ups and downs, pros and cons. But again, it's a movie that I can sit back and enjoy. Now, Rogue One literally has my favorite Star Wars scene ever in it. Genuinely.
The hallway scene. Yeah.
Exactly. The hallway scene. That hallway scene is my favorite Star Wars scene. Now,
Cinematic
I have a lot of fucking Star Wars scenes that I love, but that scene is just fucking amazing. It almost seems like it's part of a horror movie, which makes me love it even more. Because if you think about it, if you were to meet Darth Vader, he is like a horror character almost. He's over fucking powered. He's dressed all in black. He's got a red ass saber that glows him up, lights him up. He's ruthless. He
It's like
slays
7
people.
foot tall.
He's
For that hallway scene, Darth Vader, his life like respirator chest piece with all the flashing lights. For that scene, Darth Vader turned off all of his lights, so it was extra dark, and the only light was his lightsaber.
Yeah. Like it's an
Which,
amazing
which
scene.
actually means he put himself through severe, immense pain just to scare the shit out of some poor troops.
Which I
Exactly.
fucking
But
love, by the
still
way.
got the piss taken.
Which I fucking
The
love.
man's hatred is unrivaled.
And also, I love the fact that he just goes, I can imagine, and one day I'm probably gonna make a skit out of this, but like I can imagine him just going there. He's like standing close to the hallway. Okay, getting ready. He turns it off. Okay, and then he just goes there, stands there. He shakes his shoulders, gets ready, and just goes, okay, okay, I'm ready. And then he lights his lightsaber, just like getting fucking ready to like scare the shit out of them.
You can imagine just before they start firing, he's just thinking in his head really gleefully, like, "Oh my god, they're so fucking scared."
Yeah. No, but I do find it funny though. Like, we all know the characters, so chances are he probably didn't think this. But it's like,
No,
what
all
else
of you-
would he think? What
I mean,
else?
I
What
think-
else would make him go?
Oh,
I'm gonna turn off my
oh.
shit.
He's probably telling
Right.
like his stormtroopers, like, "Hey guys, watch this," and just
Just-
goes in there.
Just gonna
and
flex
like,
on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Watch
yeah.
watch how Papa does it.
Watch out, Pop.
And then,
does
and
it.
then not only that, but he was completely toying with those motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, like he knew.
Oh, yeah.
I found some people go like, oh yeah, one thing I love about the scene is we finally get to see Vader at his full power. I just go, no. He's fucking with them.
He pulls their blasters away so that they can die without even a fighting chance.
Yeah, he throws the guy into the roof, holds him there for a while so that this motherfucker gets to feel what the fuck's gonna happen. And then he slices up some other dude, and mid-slice, he slices up the guy in the fucking roof. And then he drops
Yeah.
him. Darth Vader
It
is
was-
such a fucking powerful character that if you think, oh yeah, the thing about Rogue One, it shows him at its full power, you go, heh, no. But also, I did also like the scene with Krennic. I love the scene when like, because again, we haven't seen Vader on the big screen for how many fucking years? Because you didn't really see you didn't really see like Vader as Vader in Revenge of the Sith. And then so everyone in the fucking audience in every cinema all across the world, as soon as they hear that one sound before Krennic starts grabbing his throat, you hear just like, whoop. You hear that sound and you see that he starts to like kind of like grab his throat a bit. You go, oh motherfucker, I know what's gonna happen.
That sounds such an iconic sound, I think.
Yeah. As soon as you hear that snippet of a sound, you know exactly what's gonna happen. You know exactly. Oh,
Yeah,
he's gonna
exactly.
start grabbing his throat. I fucking love that scene.
Yeah, and you can. Hear the sound in your head. One thing I'm excited for is to be potentially seeing, Darth Vader again in the Obi-Wan series.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, 100%.
that's
I
definitely
am-
that's gonna be sick.
Gassing for.
And I'm so.
I mean, I can't wait for all the new Star Wars stuff to come out.
Oh no,
It's-
yeah. But also, I love that they've brought back Hayden Christensen. I can't say enough how much I'm so happy that they brought him back. Genuinely,
He deserves another chance.
Yeah.
At a good show,
and
because they destroyed his character. Bless him.
but
And he's
also one thing. There are multiple reasons for this, and also like we discussed this on one of the podcasts a bit earlier. I think Deadpool was probably in it, and I talked about how Hayden Christensen. People go, oh, he's a shitty actor because they saw Star Wars. But it's not Hayden Christensen that you didn't like. It's the character
Yeah.
of Anakin they didn't like. Because
Yeah,
George
exactly.
Lucas was next to this motherfucker the entire way, telling him exactly what to do. He did exactly what he was going to do. And in Revenge of the Sith, like people like when Padme tells him he's pregnant, people go like, oh, that's shit acting because he looks dumb. But it's like, okay, think about this. How would you look in this situation? Okay, you got a secret relationship with someone. Neither of you are actually allowed to be with each other. Okay, that's one thing. you're about to get a child with this person, which you don't know how the fuck that you're gonna handle this situation, because like, okay, a child,
Right.
how am I gonna bring up a child when we both have to live in secret? Okay, so what goes through your mind? Okay, you're fucking happy because you're with your wife, and also you're gonna get a child, but also you're thinking, okay, what the fuck's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to her? What's gonna happen? You're thinking so many negative thoughts at the same time as they're positive. I think he acted that scene specifically also really well. And I also enjoy the character of Anakin, because the way that the character of Anakin is portrayed, like people go like, oh, well, okay, well, even if I don't like the character Anakin, it's because he's a dumb character that just doesn't work. But think about, the way that he acts in the movies, it's not really that unbelievable. Think about the shit that this motherfucker has been through.
Yeah.
He grew up without a father. He was a slave. He essentially gets taken away from his mother. He's told that he isn't good enough. He's being held back by everyone when he's like training as a Padawan. He's being held back. He's going through so much shit that there's nothing that Hayden Christensen does in those Jedi robes that I think that is unbelievable. That's just not. No, that's just dumb. That's not how a person would handle that situation. Right. Like, there's so much.
And another thing is,
about
like,
the character.
He's Hayden Christensen's also in the movie Runner, or Jumper. My bad, Jumper. And like, there's people who have seen Star Wars and they're like, I hate Hayden Christensen. Then there's people who have seen Jumper but not Star Wars and they're like, I love Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
that solidifies the fact that they hate the character he's playing more than the actual actor himself.
Yeah.
And people just need to recognize that and realize that they're hating the script, not the person.
Yeah.
And it's the same with John Boyega and I forgot his name. Who played Kylo Ren?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. That's it.
Adam Driver.
So a lot of people did shit on them for their quote unquote performance, but obviously again it was with the roles, the script, what they had been given. Because I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's a British cult film. It's fucking amazing. It's called Attack the Block.
Yeah.
It's basically about. It's fucking awesome. It's basically just about a bunch of aliens that come down from space like monster things. In the middle of like some shitty, sketchy London borough.
Yeah.
And John Boyega is like the oldest boy in this like gang of guys, and they basically fight it off, and he is fucking amazing in it.
Yeah.
Like,
there's another one that I watched with him in it, and it's like he just got out of prison. No. He just got out of prison and he's like trying to watch his son, and like life just keeps like knocking him down and shit. And he did really well on that one too.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, and so's Adam Driver. I mean, he's done quite a few other things.
That one I disagree with you on.
Yeah,
I've seen many Adam Driver movies, and I cannot stand him. He's, in my opinion, a terrible actor.
But see, this is also what I talked about, which I pointed out when we had this discussion, which I don't remember. I think it was on the podcast. It might have been after or before, but I think it was on the podcast with like Vector and Guy and stuff. We discussed this, and I said that because I'm an actor myself, and I said that as we even just defended Hayden Christensen with, is that the way you will be portrayed isn't up to you. How well you perform that is up to you. But the thing is, sometimes people perform their instructions so well that you really see how bad the character that was actually made for them is. And it's not their fault, because if anything, you should then give them props for because they actually made this character look exactly how it was supposed to. Which might sound dumb, but and also
it's down to differentiating between shitty acting and shitty writing.
And like, it's, for example, with Hayden Christensen, which I remember I pointed this out. So there is this one movie. To anyone that says that Hayden Christensen is a bad actor, there is one movie that I don't give a fuck what you think about any other movies, but this movie, it's called, I believe it's called Life is a House. I believe it is, and it's essentially
we talked about this.
We talked about this. Yeah, where Hayden Christensen, he's playing the son and then it's his father, and they're gonna build a house together. And there is one scene where, for certain reasons that I'm not gonna spoil, his father isn't there at that very moment. For whatever reason, he's not in this one scene where Hayden Christensen's character is working on the house, and then all of a sudden he stops. And I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I just know it's a fucking amazing film. And then he like stares out, and like, you know, because there's emotional reasoning behind his acting in the scene because of why his father can be there. I'm not gonna say why, but and then you just see the fucking raw emotion that Hayden Christensen shows in this scene. You cannot say that he's a bad actor after that, because that's fucking, it's such a fucking powerful moment. And like, to anyone, I would just suggest watch that movie. I believe it's called Life is a House. If you go through Hayden Christensen's films on like Google or whatever, it's probably going to be something similar to that. At least you'll find it. It's just a fucking fantastic movie. And if you think that Hayden Christensen is a bad actor, watch that film, because like, that's just a phenomenal scene, specifically that one. It's just a great film all in all. So the entire concept of actors being bad. Now there are some actors that aren't good, and I'm gonna openly admit that. But there are a lot of cases as well where it's completely up to the writing. Because like, for example, like we talk about Hux, right? How he got a bad rep.
Yeah.
And Poe, I think Poe got a bit screwed over as well. It was a good character. I enjoyed him, obviously, but he got a bit screwed over. But both of those two are together in one film that is, for the most part, condemned as a fucking brilliant, like, it's called an amazing movie. Ex Machina. They're both in that film. And they're both fucking amazing in that film. Amazing movie, and they both play amazing characters, and they bring those characters to life through their amazing acting. But then especially Hux just gets fucked over in especially Last Jedi. So the entire acting thing is, if people can be good actors, but they're just in a shit film, which we see multiple times.
Yeah.
There's so many actors that are great actors, but you see them in shit films, and you go, what the fuck are you doing here? You're way too good for this.
Yeah, Jason Statham's a prime example. I mean, he was in those fucking Crank movies, and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
Oh,
I
what,
think
when
we
they were like
should reel
spewing
it back
shit out
even
like
to
Transporter and
topic.
Mechanic?
what was it?
I was just
I
saying
think we
about the
should
Jason. Sorry.
No, Weezy, what were you saying, Weezy?
Sorry, it was just about the Jason Statham. You on about the films like shit like all the mechanics and the transporters and all shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
same copy paste hitman assassin type films where he plays
Yeah.
some badass guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But I think we should start reeling it back in towards the topics.
yeah. So we kind of moved over to the new Star Wars movies, right? So we've talked about, we all seem to agree that 7, 8, 9, they aren't really good films. I think it seems like we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Solo might be a bit different. I enjoy.
Was definitely a great movie.
I definitely like the movie, at least.
Solo and Rogue One were like the newer generation
Rogue
Star
was
Wars
great.
movies that really stayed
Rogue One is
stuff.
amazing, at least. Rogue One, I will say, is amazing. With Solo, I'm a bit different. I would say that I enjoy the movie, and if I see that it's on, I will definitely play it. But it's definitely not my favorite. But I do enjoy the movie. But Rogue One, fucking love it.
Yeah. I think they could have done a lot better with the Solo movie, but I think still altogether, I'd still watch it just because they did a good job with it.
Yeah, and I would say that the characters are likable as well, which is definitely important in most movies. is have a likable character that people want to follow. Because if your
Yeah.
characters aren't likable, then people will go like, I don't give a fuck how good the movie or story is. If there isn't at least one character that I can sit here and enjoy watching, then there's no reason.
Exactly.
Which is one thing that I think they do really well. Now, okay, so now we've talked about ships, our favorite ships. We've discussed a bit throughout that. We've talked about Disney's movies, which we all seem to be, for the most part, agreeing on. We at least agree which spectrum they are on when it comes to good or bad. So now, Kamikaze, what? Because you had two topics, but Wheezy, you also said that you came up with a topic. I don't know if we've delved into it, but what is, because we still have a bit of time left, so we could definitely go through a quick little topic before we have to end it. So what was that topic?
Funny enough, it was the sequels.
Oh, it was the sequels. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
In that
I wanted to get those off my chest because I hate them.
I mean, fair enough. But which we've all aired out what we think about those movies. You know, we seem to all agree that the blueprint was there with The Force Awakens, and The Force Awakens was a good start, but it gets fucked over by the two after. I think that seems to be something that we sit on, all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely a good blueprint that just sadly got fucked up.
Yeah.
Which now there seems to be, which we can also probably delve into a bit, and it seems to be a lot of people want at least 8 and 9 retconned, and for those to be remake a completely new 8, a completely new 9, with the same characters, same actors, and just different stories. Now, what do we think about this? I want to start off with Kamikaze. What do we think about? Because I don't think this has ever been done before. Just retconning part of a trilogy. I don't think that's ever been done before.
I don't believe it has. It'd be really interesting, and I think it'd really depend on where they start that at.
Yeah.
But like we're at in the movie, but like I think they should just do the whole thing if they were to do it. Just do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I think if they were either going to do part of it, they should just do all of it and restart everything from ground zero for the new 3. I don't think just doing 8 and 9 would be the move. I think doing 7, 8, and 9 as a whole would be the best way to, go about that.
But-
You can't remake it and just leave the 7th one alone. You would have to do 7, 8, and 9 or none of them.
Yeah. Wheezy, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with the mind of Deadpool. You know, I'd say you got two options. Either just, like you said, sort of same characters, new story, or it would be a case of just doing a new trilogy, just completely fucking off that idea and just trying something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just make something, retcon those 3 films, make them legends, and then bring out a new trilogy instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I say, make the fucking sequels legends.
Yeah.
Give them a different name, the Palpatine fucking saga or whatever. Call them that, and then
Because
make a new trilogy.
now, the reason that people say that they want 8 and 9 retcon is, well, for one, I think most people agree that those are definitely the 2 weakest films, but also it's people are really on board with the blueprint that The Force Awakens laid down. People, because The Force Awakens got so many people excited for Star Wars again, and it sets up so many great things in great ways. So people are like, well, we're okay with that story. That story is good as long as it's next to, build on it. And I think and that's also where I would say, as much as I would love 8 and 9 to be retcon, I'm kind of like sitting there like, well, fuck it, whatever you do, I retconning them kind of just doesn't work for me, which it probably is for most people. But obviously, I would love for The Force Awakens to get justice with having 2 sequels that are better than what they are. But you know, it's just too difficult. But it's so sad because of what The Force Awakens set up. Because if you retcon, you won't get this amazing feeling that we all got, I assume, when we for the first time see a fucking stormtrooper take off his helmet and questioning what the fuck he's doing. We won't get the same thing. It won't be the same reaction or anything, because it's like, okay, it's just the same story just told again. If you want to keep that, because that's a fucking great story to follow.
You could do like you're never going to get that feeling back, but you always remember like, hey, I watched that. But you can definitely take like a poll, like say the directors or the writers or whatever took a poll and it lasted for a year and they're like, hey, what would we want to keep? What would we want to get rid of? Definitely get rid of the whole Palpatine fucking bullshit. Rewrite that. Fucking have Kylo Ren consistently stay as the Sith. You can't have like I want to be Sith, now I want to be Jedi, now I want to be Sith, now I want to be Jedi. You can't do that. It's either Sith or Jedi. Like, just fucking stick to it. Have that, you know, and then moving on from there, just rewrite some parts, patch in some parts that were from the let's say the original 7, 8, and 9, because if we're talking about a remake, then that way it makes brand new 3 movies, right? So then we're expanding into, hey, we know the story, but here's the actual finished product of the new 3. And moving on from that, then you could potentially get that budget back up, because now you made movies that people are actually liking versus these complete fucking letdowns.
Yeah.
So I think doing the full thing and even rewriting some parts would help a lot.
Yeah. But now, okay, so then also one other question, because have you guys seen the original script or seen a video talking about the original script that J.J. Abrams had for the ending of Episode 9? I think Star Wars Theory's got a video on it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so I'm going to link that on the table later after this podcast. But he basically talks about how J.J. Abrams' original vision was for how it was going to end. Because that is so much better, but Kathleen Kennedy fucked it off. Okay? So,
imagine that.
Yeah. so Kathleen Kennedy fucks off this idea. But you know one thing that a lot of people questioned, or some of the sequel stands, they talk about, oh yeah, Rey is definitely the chosen one. Okay, for one, she fucking isn't. But 2, JJ's original vision proved this. In this now, this is just a brief thing. Now I'm gonna send you guys the video later so you can see it, because it's really good, and I might link it down in the YouTube video when I post this as well. But it talks about how all the Force ghosts that talk to Rey, they're all actually there. You see them as Force ghosts behind Rey, and then what?
That would be dope.
And then Anakin, what he does is he like places his hand on Rey's shoulder or something. This being Hayden Christensen, because he came back and filmed the fucking parts for this. He puts like his hand on Rey's shoulder or whatever, giving her essentially all his power. And then Luke is next to him watching his father sacrifice himself. And a tear fucking runs down his eye, watching his father sacrifice himself. Because what Anakin does, he uses all of his power, giving that to Rey, becoming one with the Force. So he's becoming what he's not. He can't be a Force ghost anymore. He is nothing. He's become one with the Force. He gives all his power to Rey.
Officially gone, yeah.
So he's officially gone. He's one with the Force. He gives all his power to Rey, so that she can take Palpatine, thus keeping Anakin as the chosen one. So he is still the one bringing. He is still the chosen one. Luke just watched his father sacrifice himself, and Palpatine is finally defeated again. And now that's not completely in detail, but it's just a fucking amazing thing, and I'm gonna link it. And that's just one of the brilliant ways that this could have ended. And this is why, and that the reason that I pointed this out is because I'm going to ask a question now. If they retcon this, now I don't think they will, but if they were to do it, let's say in an alternate universe they retcon it, would you keep J.J. Abrams as director for the trilogy? Would you give him the entire trilogy on his own?
I would say yes. I think J.J. Abrams could do a really good job with it, but at the same time, I think Jon Favreau should do it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I think they should have a mix. They should have a mix because J.J. Abrams can capture the essence of Star Wars, but Favreau knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Is bringing like Star Wars to the new gen. He is resurrecting something that a lot of people thought was dead.
Yeah.
But he's kicking the door in and getting shit done.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so Kamikaze, what are you thinking? What do you keep JJ, or do you switch it out with someone else? Do you keep him partly, or what do you think?
Or like making the new ones?
Yeah, if the trilogy gets retconned in a different universe, the trilogy gets retconned. Do you keep J.J. Abrams at the helm for all three movies? Do you switch him out? Do you keep him as a?
I would probably try and do John and Dave. See how they, because knowing how well they did with the Mandalorian, I want to see how they do it with those three.
Yeah.
Because they did such a great job. They knew what they were doing. They were fans before and so forth. Yeah. And they kind of know how it's supposed to be.
It's like...
So, this is going to sound weird, but if you really think about it, it'd be something kind of interesting. How would a M. Night Shyamalan Star Wars movie or TV show come out?
I don't know.
I'm not...
The dude makes good fucking movies. And they always have really good twists and like suspense to them.
True.
I feel like he could do really well with a Star Wars themed movie or show. Even if it's like brand new characters, brand new stories, whatever, just let them have fun with it. But at the same time, not too much fun, like how what's her face does.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that'd be something dope, something that potentially could be badass.
I think you definitely have a point there. I would also say, if we're throwing out a few different thoughts on how people that could develop something Star Wars related, I think, let's say they make a Vader movie or anything Sith related. You know who I would definitely pick? And it might sound like a fucking weird ass stretch to take, but James Wan.
Yeah.
Because James Wan, now for one, when it comes to making, a movie series, he is the one that sets that shit up. He is the reason why the Conjuring movies are a thing. He is the reason that Saw is a thing.
Yep.
He has made so many movies that have created massive series, and he made Aquaman. So, that he can make something fucking funny and a great movie. He can make something scary, still a great movie. You know what he can do. Now give him something Sith related, especially a Vader. Give him a fucking... He can make something that... It won't be a horror film because it's Star Wars. But it could be... You could have that essence. Yeah, but you have that essence of horror in a Star Wars movie with Vader. And also... There'll definitely be characters and because it's James Wan as well, you'll have a few witty responses here and there from characters, side characters, or the opponents of Vader or whatever. And he'll be able to mix this beautifully and make an amazing movie, and maybe even a trilogy that involves Vader or whatever. Give him Vader, he makes an amazing movie with a horror essence. Just like that corridor scene in Rogue One that everyone loves. But a movie.
I think Vader, he has, technically 6 movies about him.
Yeah.
Really only 3, but I think someone that would be a really good pick for, like, a trilogy all about them would be Darth Maul. And that could be something that would be That could be like the scary aspect of it, showing his true power. Because they played him dirty in Phantom Menace. Did not give him justice. They fucking killed him off in like 5 minutes.
But I mean, Maul is kind of like a Boba Fett, where it's like he didn't realize how popular the character was going to become, hence why he got him back in Clone Wars. But also, the thing about Maul as well, you give that to James Wan as well. In, let's say, the second movie in a trilogy, that's when you have the Vader fight that he has. That's where James Wan really brings his A game with the horror aspect. Maul all of a sudden just feels or sees Vader. Oh, Jesus Christ. It would be amazing.
It would. That'd be awesome.
It would. But, and I hate to do this.
We need to...
Yeah.
We need to get James Wan as a guest spot on here and be like, hey, listen here, bucko.
listen here, bucko. You fucking call up some guy at Disney and you make this shit happen. But we have run out of time, sadly, which I it's always horrible to break off this because we always end up getting on good conversations, good topics, and we probably, every single one of us probably have a lot more to say, more ideas, more thoughts, probably even theories, anything and everything. But we gotta end it at some point. If they're down, Wheezy, Kamikaze, more than happy to welcome you back in later episodes.
Oh yeah.
Whatever
absolutely.
we end up talking about. Been amazing having you guys here. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh yeah.
Any of you got any final words before we close this off? Anything you want to say to the people at home?
No final words from me because I'm pretty sure I'll be back here to talk more with them soon. So
that's true. That's true. All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Wheezy?
Yeah, I don't reckon it'll be too long before I'm back, but yeah, it's been good to be here. It's been interesting chats.
All right. Nice. Again, amazing to have you guys here. Thank you so much for coming. Stepping in, stepping up. This has been great. Definitely a great podcast. We could probably go on about all this, especially the sequels, for fucking ages, but we don't have time. Hence why we might do it on a later episode. If people want that, if you want us to, pick up some things later, we'll do that. And if there's any guests that we feel like, definitely brought something to that conversation, guess what? We'll get him on. So thank you all for watching or listening or whatever you've done. Now, Guy isn't here to threaten you. So what do we do then, Deadpool? Do you want to threaten them with something, like if they don't subscribe on YouTube or whatever? Send someone after them?
If you don't follow and subscribe me and Furno's channel, I will send Boba Fett and reanimated fucking Jango Fett to come after you and slaughter you in front of your family.
All right, fair dues. Sounds good. All right. So, there you go. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever is possible, wherever it is. Listen. This is the 8th episode, so we got 7 more episodes to watch. Horror, we got nerd shit, we got other geek shit, whatever the fuck shit. Good stuff. We got multiple other guests. We have 2 other hosts that sadly didn't make it today, for reasons. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching or listening to this episode of the High Council podcast. This is your boys closing out for the 8th time. So yeah, thank you all so much. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck. Or again, Django or Bo, we're gonna hunt you down. So,
The Fets are coming.
the Fets are coming. See y'all later.